You know what time it is. Good morning and welcome to the Biased Miami Fan YouTube channel. I am your BMF and it is finally here. UFC 248, Israel, the last stylebender Adesanya versus Yoel, the soldier of God, Romero, dudes. I have been waiting for this fight for so long. I can't even believe Yoel called out Israel Adesanya, and I especially can't believe that he accepted the call, but it's finally here. Everyone made weight yesterday. Tonight, it's going down for real. Right out of the gates, I want to give you my prediction for the fight. I predict Yoel Romero will win by knockout, round 4, sometime between minute 2 and minute 4. I'm going to give you a full breakdown and analysis on Israel's game plan going in, Yoel's game plan going in, what will work, what won't work, and how we can come to this conclusion where I believe it could be even earlier after seeing that stare down yesterday. Wow, Israel Adesanya is one of the most incredible strikers alive today. His striking is so much higher on a technical level than Yoel's is. Just the way he's able to comfortably sit back in his range, keep distance, pick apart his opponents at will with so much power, with so much precision. It is a marvelous masterpiece to watch. And I'm so glad that Yoel is recognizing that. I'm biased, dude. I want my Miami guy to win. I want my Cuban brother to do well tonight. But even Yoel recognizes Adesanya is so technical. And for most people, he's so dangerous. You look back at all of his previous fights, trying to figure out how tonight's gonna go. People have looked back at the Kevin Gastelum fight. People have looked back at the Robert Whittaker fight. Why? Because Yoel fought Robert Whittaker and those were two incredible battles. You look back at the Kevin Gastelum fight, he's a southpaw. He's the one who's given Adesanya the most trouble. Naturally, if anyone's gonna give Adesanya trouble, you look at Yoel Romero, say it's very similar. I personally went all the way back to the Anderson Silva fight because I personally believe Anderson Silva's craftiness, his ability to set traps, his ability to just sit back, even eat a few shots and just watch, read, and react, that is going to be more similar to Yoel's approach. Yoel's already said he's not in a hurry to finish him. He's not going to go in with a game plan. He's going to prepare his body. He's going to prepare his mind, his reflexes, and his reactions for what Adesanya is going to give him, and then he's going to knock him out. When that beast of a man says he's going to knock someone out, I just tend to believe the beast is gonna knock someone out. Now, that being said, what went down in the Anderson Silva Adesanya fight? Well, Adesanya was very respectful. He was fighting his idol. He was literally conquering his hero. He came in respectful. He came in talking big and bold. He has to. He's the last style bender, for goodness sake. He has to talk up the game. However, he was calm, relaxed, respectful, and arrogant. And when he got in the ring, he did his game, he played distance, he gave a little showmanship, right? He did the thing. However, he was very, very humble. He was very reserved in all of his attacks. He never went out. He never went all out. His combinations were there, but it was usually 1-1-2, very rarely a 1-2-3. He kept distance. He used his leg kick game to perfection against one of the greatest strikers in the history of the middleweight division. He read Adesanya. He caught him with some really good looks, and he ate some of Adesanya's straight strikes, and it didn't even faze him. At least it seemed like it didn't even faze him. At one point, it even faked that it hurt him just to try to draw Adesanya in for the kill. Adesanya was very smart. He didn't do that. And that's what gave him the win, in my opinion. He never got overconfident. He stayed calm and control and relaxed. And that played to his advantage. Here's where I think Adesanya's at a disadvantage. It's not going to be at striking because, like I said, one of the greatest strikers alive. It's not going to be because of his disadvantage to wrestling. This guy, his takedown defense is incredible. Yoel, even though he's one of the greatest grapplers to ever live in this past century, he doesn't use his wrestling that much, and I think it would be kind of, not useless, but ill-used of energy to try to take down Adesanya. His sprawling technique is just amazing. Where I think Adesanya is going to get into trouble is what I think happened with Daniel Cormier when he did his rematch against Stipe Miocic. He went to that fight saying, I am possibly the greatest heavyweight of all time. There's a problem. Adesanya is going into this fight saying, I am going to attempt to be better than my hero. I'm going to try to be better than Anderson Silva. Even when he fought Anderson Silva, he knew at that moment he was better than Anderson Silva, but he didn't dare disrespect his icon, his idol, because he knew at a moment's notice he could be kissing the canvas. Lots has changed. Lots of things has changed since then. He took down no offense to Robert Whittaker, he's an amazing person, but he knocked out what I believe to be the illegitimate middleweight champ. I believe Yoel should have had that middleweight title. I believe he won the second fight against, I believe that he won that second fight against Whittaker. I believe that should have given him a chance to lose that last couple ounces to make weight. Whatever, they told him he had time to cut the weight and then they told him they didn't. You all know how that situation goes. So anyhow, he knocks out what I believe is the illegitimate middleweight champ. No offense to Robert Whittaker. And ever since then, his stardom has become full manifest. He is a mini or a tiny version as far as stardom goes of Muhammad Ali. He's the loudmouth, he's the cool guy, he speaks his mind, he projects his genuineness. But Yoel Romero is a different machine. He's a different animal. You see, this guy, this Cuban immigrant, this man who had to wrestle his way out of communism and out of socialism, this man literally lives on survival instinct. And he's the most humble person for so much talent and so much skill and so much ability. This man out-sinceres Adesanya on an extreme level. You saw that when they did their first press conference and Adesanya says, hey, you want to see me salsa dance? And Yoel says, you can't do that, you can't do that, and immediately busted out the backflip and went straight into a splits. No warm-up necessary, just a 42-year-old man showing up the 30-year-old breakdancing kickboxer. No big deal. What did that do to Adesanya? That hurt his pride. It hurt his ego, his image of himself. He's always outcooled everyone, and then he just got outcooled by boomer generation, the boogeyman, Yoel Romero. So what does he do? He goes to Auckland, he goes to the next press conference, and he says he's going to make Yoel crumble like the Twin Towers. Man, you gotta be really feeling yourself to say something so disrespectful and so insensitive, and then say you justified it by saying, too soon. That's what he said in Ariel Helwani's interview with him. He said, oh, no, I kind of justified it by saying, well, was that too soon? Obviously, you know it's a joke. Okay, fine, it's a joke. He said, I remember where I was in September the 11th, 2001. Everyone knows I respect that date. Cool, I'm glad you respect it. But you gotta be so enveloped in what you see yourself as to say something that crazy, to say something that divisive. If he wins, if he truly knocks out Yoel Romero like he says he's going to do, we're going to have a different take in a few days. However, I think Adesanya has got the perfect storm. He's setting himself up for mega destruction. So, I don't know if you watch the UFC vlogs. He's over here looking at all these expensive six-figure cars saying, yeah, that's what I'm going to drive today. That's what I'm going to drive tomorrow. That's going to be my fight car. That's the car. Like, he's ballering it up a la Colby Covington, but it's not a game. It's not a projection. He wants everyone to know that he has arrived and that he's unstoppable. And this is where Yoel comes in. Now, Yoel could easily out-grapple Adesanya. He could take him to the ground. He could ground and pound if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to. He wants to make a statement. He wants to let the judges know, the audience know, the fans know. He wants all of the MMA universe to know that he is the baddest man alive. And the best way to do that is to stop the unstoppable phenom, which is the last stylebender. I believe, and Chael Sonnen has brought this point to light, and it's perfectly summed up, that Yoel has taken his wrestling mentality that's been ingrained in him for the last 2 decades, and he's attributed that to the UFC. I don't need to destroy you, I just need to beat you. And you even see that in the last fight against Paulo Costa. This man is just standing here evading punches from one of the most terrifying specimens of human beings you've seen in mixed martial arts. Costa is just firing away at body shots and head shots, and Yoel is either avoiding them or he's eating them to his face and then sticking out his tongue like, you can't hurt me. Even when you hit me, it doesn't hurt, which is ridiculous. But he's trying to show to everyone, look, he's not hurting me. If the goal of the fight is to hit someone more, he could easily do that. But if the goal of the fight is who, at the end of the day, let's say there's no time limits, who walks away alive? Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa, Yoel Romero is going to walk away alive. I promise you that. If it was a fight to the death, he was telling everyone, hey, look, he can't hurt me. Kick me in the head, punch me in the face. It's not hurting me. I can say, hey, look over here, knock you straight to the floor. I caught you off guard. You're a babe. You're a rook. You don't know what you're doing. And Yoel has, in my opinion, he's changed a little bit. He says he's going to approach it the same, but he hasn't. He's changed a little bit because now he's not just trying to stay one move ahead and show to everyone how dominant he is. He's unleashed the killer. The beast, the animal is about to come forth. Yoel Romero had a look in his eye the last 2 days that sends shivers down my spine. This man has some darkness in his soul. Now, there's no way for an American that doesn't know about that type of environment, that type of culture, there's no way for us to fully understand what it means to grow up in a country where eating food is a challenge, where getting enough sustenance for your family to survive is an issue, where there are literally whole families that go days and weeks eating nothing but mango. That is Cuba for so many Cubans. If you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, Yoel talked about how his recovery, his supplements was sugar and water. Not like poured sugar, like sugar cane, guarapo. Like just sugar cane and water, maybe a little bit of bread. And you look at him and you say, how can that physique come from sugar and water and some bread? But that's discipline, discipline, discipline. He says the reason he's even in this place in the first place is because he's got God's favor on him and he's lived a disciplined life. How do you argue with someone like that with those type of results at 42 years of age? Discipline and God's favor. I don't know how long he can keep this up. I don't know if he'll ever be at a championship level after this fight. But if I had to bet money, I'd bet the farm that Yoel is not only going to win tonight, he's going to knock out the Phenom. And I believe the Phenom is going to be better for it. And I believe Yoel will finally have accomplished what he's waited the last several years for, which is to become UFC champion officially in the mind and hearts of all of UFC fans. You say he doesn't deserve it, but if he knocks out Israel Adesanya, he more than deserves it. So that's my take, guys. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Again, this is our first video on the Biased Miami fan channel. I hope you're biased. I hope you love Miami. I hope you love one of our guys. Watch tonight, UFC 248, Romero versus Adesanya. Joanna, also one of our girls here from the American Top Team. Again, predicting she's gonna win too by knockout. Again, predicting either a 4th round or a 5th round knockout. Fingers crossed. We'll see how my predictions turn out. But anyhow, hope you like, comment, and subscribe if you are a Biased Miami fan. And you know what time it is. We'll talk to you later. Peace.